Alright, we're back again. This is the final mission of the Sarajevo 6. And full disclosure, this is my second run through of it, so make that what you will. I'm going to state here and now, I did the mission perfectly, and I screwed up at the very end. So we're going to start over. Let's go ahead and start with the briefing.
Good evening, 47. I have the final profile available now. Your target is Tahiji Koyama, codenamed the Controller. He is the final living member of the Sigma paramilitary, and with his elimination, a particularly nasty chapter of recent history will be brought to a close. Hospital records indicate the target suffers a rare genetic disease, but also that he has refused 2 full bone marrow donations on ethical grounds so far. Interesting. Clients at this particular hospital are not usually picky about where their life-extending therapy comes from. While I have confirmed that he has learned of the deaths of the other members of Sigma, he does not seem to have altered his security arrangements or movement patterns in any meaningful way. Regardless, the hospital is highly secure, and it will be difficult to move freely. So I'll leave you to prepare.
Alright, so one of the challenges, which we actually don't find out until we get into the mission, is that we also have to get files that they're keeping on the computer, and if we're spotted before we get the files, then the files are deleted. So to kind of explain what I had previously done, first off, I had stated that I'm doing the sniper's rifle or the explosive duck in all of the levels except for this one. This one I'm going to be using the modern lethal syringe. I'm also bringing the scramblers with me because those can get me the RFID card. I think that's what it's called, but it gives me access to basically every single room. I can use the scrambler to access every single room, but if people are looking at you, it can attract attention if you use it. It's kind of like the lockpicks. So, doing that, I'm going to start in the operating theater disguised as the surgeon. That will give me pretty good access around the area, and I can sneak past people or areas where it won't give me access. So let's go ahead and get this started. So now, what we're going to talk about today, we've been talking about murder, of course, but we're going to talk about something. A certain aspect, well, something that's similar to murder. Indeed, it's been called an introverted murder. Oh, wait, let's hear from Diana before you understand what I'm talking about.
Welcome to Hokkaido, 47. I have received a priority update from the client. He has learned that the Sigma operations files will be destroyed if you are spotted during the operation. Therefore, you should consider acquiring them before moving on the target, but I will leave that to your discretion.
Alright, so let me get out of there quickly because there's a guy there who can spot me. Alright, so have to get the files, have to get all that stuff, but an introverted murder is, of course, suicide. And the interesting thing about that is pretty much the same motives, same things that go into suicide will also go into murder. So, for example, so RFID card is in here with Agent Smith, so we'll unlock that and I'll discuss this whole thing I'm talking about. So, it's the same sort of thought process that goes into it. Both murder and suicide are acts of desperation. The person who commits either of them pretty much believes there's no other option but to take the life, and the end result is the same. A life has been taken. So I'm not going to talk specifically about suicide because it would end up being essentially the exact same as when I talk about murder, just a little slightly different. Instead, I'm going to talk about a phenomenon generally called Angel of Death, and it deals with assisted suicide. Now, there's 4 things that Angel of Death refers to. The first one is pretty much a straight-up murder. Somebody who kills somebody else, assists their death without their knowledge for material gain.
You should get out.
There's people who get material gain from the death, but are asked to assist and are paid for it. They're basically hitman. That's the second one. The third one is people who don't get material gain from the murder, but what they do get is they don't get but they want to help their fellow human beings, and so they assist the suicide. Now, the fourth is the most interesting to me, and that's the one we're going to concentrate on. Those are people who they get neither. They don't get anything out of it per se, and nor are they asked to help this person's in their death. What they do get is basically they believe that person is suffering, is in so much pain that they don't want to live, and so for themselves they believe it to be an act of mercy. Okay, I think I can get in. Okay, get out of the way because I'm... Yeah, let's wait for the door to close. Okay, good. Whew. Let's get those. Okay, but they believe, for them it is an act of mercy. Mercy, they believe that this person is suffering so much that death would be a relief to them. I don't know what the non-strict card is. Anyway, so let's... Okay, wait till this guy moves on. So yeah, their actions are one of mercy, but it's incredibly disrespectful, I think, to the people who are in pain, because they might want to continue with their lives. They may want to stay living. And this person, the way they're presenting it, the way they... It's just... At least just me speaking of it, I find it to be disrespectful to the people, and it's very high-handed attitude that they judge that a person should live, whereas the other person has no say in it. But because they said, oh, because they believe it, then of course the person should die. And an interesting aspect of murder, because they fully believe that they are justified in their beliefs. They fully believe that, oh, it's perfectly okay that this person should die. It's for the best. And obviously, if they were coherent or thought it through logically, they would agree with me, which is, yeah. Say what you want about most murderers, most people who kill. For the most part, they don't expect you to be happy about it and like it. Okay, so there's that guy who can spot me, and then there's this person right over here who can spot me, so I'm gonna, crouch down, get the wrench. Gonna need the wrench for where I'm gonna go. Whew. Okay, that's a very scary part. Okay. So, we're going to look through here and... wait. Yep, there's the target in red over there. So, of all the people who kill, it's just... If it's an act of desperation, I can understand that. I don't agree with it, but I can understand it. Also, okay, I just turned off the cool water, so the heat is going to rise in the hot springs, making it just really horrible for anybody to be in there, so that everybody outside will evacuate. So, now what I have to do, and this is where I screwed up last time, is I didn't close all the doors. I closed all but one of the doors. And the second I made my move... The second I made my move, then somebody saw, and it's like, yeah, did not work out too well. So, close that. Alright, I think I'm good. Let's double check. Alright, let's head to the target.
A new face. And not a staff transfer, I think. And it seems that no one knows that you are here. Your reputation is entirely deserved. It is an honor to meet a true professional. I have been waiting for you.
Mr. Jason
You are here in time.
Please
For
come to
that
the
I am very
hospital
thankful.
entrance.
It would have been
A doctor
inappropriate
will
for
escort
you
you
to
to
die
your
before
checkup.
you came for me.
That was for Mr. Jason Portman.
I am prepared. We
A
were
doctor
young,
will escort you to your appointment.
full of the
Please proceed to
arrogance
the
of
hospital
power.
entrance.
But what we did there in Siesta Polye, it was not a mistake. We did it willingly, we six. Sano gave the orders, but we did it willingly. Even I. We killed them and took the gold. 1.5 tons of gold. Being moved from Belgrade. 6 trucks with refugees aboard to protect them from the airstrikes. We killed them all. And then called in helicopter gunships on what was left. $10 million was my share. It was only later that I realized that I was no longer a man. The others could not see it. Or perhaps would not see it. It haunted me for years until finally it became clear that I must use my remaining time to atone. My old friend Loxley told me of the ICA and what you can do. The cost was irrelevant. I placed all 6 contracts, and I watched as you carried them out. Then I fell ill. I feared that I would die before my time. Thankfully, your reputation for timeliness is entirely deserved. As you are aware, the staff have my files in safekeeping. They will destroy them in the event of an emergency. But I am sure you will not be noticed after we are finished here. Arrangements have been made to publicize the files widely. The actions of Sigma and Cicada must be known. Thank you for allowing me to speak my piece, sir. Please complete the final contract now.
Okay, we're gonna double check. And so, yeah, that's why this subject. This is not so much an assassination as an assisted suicide. And we are getting paid for it, so... Yeah, so what do you think we should do? Should we carry it out or let him die? Well, I think that since we have already been paid, I'm going to say...
I've pieced the chain of contracts together, 47. All 6 targets were part of the Sigma mercenary unit, operating near the city of Siesta Polye in Sarajevo in late 1995. They learned of a convoy transporting 1.5 tons of gold out of Belgrade under cover of a refugee column. They attacked the convoy and stole the gold and called in a NATO airstrike. It was reported as an accidental attack at the time, a sideshow in that dirty conflict. Ironically, the final target was also the client. Complicated way to commit suicide, I'm sure. I have forwarded the files you retrieved as per the contract's instructions. I'm not sure what that will achieve, however.
A wartime massacre in the 90s. Fortunate goal. Then 2 decades later, 6 men die. No one will notice this.
So, yeah. That does make for an interesting storyline, I think, and it's an interesting look at death and kind of the hitman way of life, and so on. All the people have paid for it, and the person who wanted to atone for it has, I think, done what he could to atone for it, and he can't ever make it right, though. So, an interesting storyline, but... yeah. And I think, like I said about Angel of Death, suicides, assisted suicides, especially the ones that do it without the consent of the person, is just incredibly disingenuous, I think, to the people. You know, I don't normally I don't agree with murder, I don't agree with suicide. But Angel of Death thing is seems to be more of a it seems to be a murder, but they morally justify it in a way that no other murderer is morally justified. So yeah, I don't like it. I'm just gonna go out, say my personal opinion. I don't like it. So let us continue. Ooh, I got Silent Assassin on this one. Ooh, so that's good. Yay! I finally got 5 stars and a Silent Assassin, so that makes me awesome on this level. Anyway, like and subscribe if you like it. Yep, and I will see you in the next video. We will try to find more fun things for you to watch while I'm expounding philosophies. So see you next time. Bye.